Hi everyone. Hope you all are good. We are here for grade 4 math. You can find all the lessons on aplusstudents.com. You have to log in there using your email address and password as provided by the administrator. Then you have to select math from the subject tab. Scroll grade 4 math and then click on view all lessons. There you can find the list of the chapters. We're going to start with the chapter Subtraction. So please make sure you have your notebook and pencil so that you can note down the important examples and definitions as well. So here I am on grade 4 math. Chapter we are on right now is Subtraction. So let's just start with the lesson. Subtraction, fill in the missing digits. So let's just start with the lesson. Type the missing digit. So we have a digit missing in the given number. So how do we find the missing digit? Start subtracting from the whole digit and then we'll find the missing digit, right? So we cannot subtract 1 out of 4. So for sure we have to borrow 1 from here. So we have 3 here and 11 here. 11 take away 4 is 7. Now subtract the tens. We cannot subtract 3 out of 8. So we need to borrow 1. 13 take away 8 is 5. Again you cannot subtract 2 out of 7. So you have to borrow 1 from here. So that is 12 take away 7 is 5, right? Now, what number we have here when we subtract 4, the answer is 9. Also, when we borrowed 1 from here. So 13 take away 4 is 9. So there must be a 4 over here. When you borrow 1, we are left with 3 here. And the borrow makes it 13. So 13 take away 4 is 9 and 8 take away 3 is 5. So the missing number is 5. So the correct option is the missing number is 4. And let's just start with the test questions. Type the missing digit. Start subtracting from the ones digit. So 6 take away 1 is 5. Now what number subtracted from 6 makes 7 here? So 13 minus 6 is 7, right? So there must be a 3 here. You borrowed 1 from here. The borrow makes 13. 13 take away 6 is 7. 3 minus 0 is 3 and 9 minus 2 is 7. So see, the missing number is that is 3. The missing number is 3. Option number 1 is the correct option. 3 it is. fill in the type the missing digit. So start subtracting from the ones digit. 5 take away 3 is 2, so the missing number is 2. The correct option is option number 1, that is 2. Excuse me. Excuse me. Okay, so we cannot subtract 5 out of 3, right? We need to borrow 1 from here. The borrow makes 15. 15 take away 9 is 6. You are given 2 of the numbers. Here you have 0. So that must be 4 because you borrowed 1 from here. So you are left with 3. And 3 take away 3 is 0. The correct option is 4. Option number 2 is the correct option. Type the missing digit. 3 take away 5. We need to borrow 1 from here. The borrow makes it 13 and we have 6 here. 13 take away 5 is 8. We cannot subtract 6 out of 9, so we need to borrow 1. 16 take away 9 is 7. We cannot subtract 1 out of 3, so we need to borrow 1 from here. We have 11 take away 3 is 8. So what number here is? We have 9 over here because we already borrowed 1, so we have 8 here, and we know that 8 take away 3 is 5. That is 9. Option number 2 is the correct option. 9 it is. Type the missing digit. So start subtracting from ones. That is 3 take away 2 is 1. The correct option is 3. The missing number is 3. Option number 1 is the correct option. That is 3. Option number 1 is the correct option. Type the missing digit. That is 12 take away 3. We need to borrow 1. 12 take away 3 is 9. So we have 3 here, right? So because we already borrowed 1, so we have 2 here. And when we borrow 1, that makes 12. 12 take away 4 is 8. And 6 take away 2 is 4. So that is 489. The missing number is 3. Option number 2 is the correct option. 3 it is. Type the missing digit. 9 take away 5 is 4. 8 take away 8 is 0. We cannot subtract 0 out of 2, so we need to borrow 1 from here. 10 take away 2 is 8, so the missing number is 8. That is 8. Option number 2 is the correct option. Type the missing digit. We already have 1 over here. We need to borrow 1. 11 take away 5 is 11 take away 6 is 5. That is 11 take away 6 is 5, so the missing number is 6. Type the missing digit. So 6 take away 6 is 0. Then again 6 take away 6 is 0. 9 take away 5 is 4. And 7 take away 6 is 1. The missing number is 0. Option number 1 is the correct option. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is that is subtract numbers up to millions. Subtract up to millions. I'm going to start with the test questions, right? So that we can do most of the test questions. Okay, start with subtracting from the ones digit. So 7 take away 7 is 7 take away 7 is 0. Again 7 take away 7 is 0. 8 take away 2 is 6. And 6 take away 2 is 4. So the correct option is 4600. Option number 2 is the correct option, that is 4600. 2 take away 1 is 2 take away 1 is 1, 3 take away 1 is 2, 2 take away 2 is 0, and 2 take away 1 is 1. So which is the correct option? The correct option is 1021. Very good. Option number 1 is the correct option. So let's just subtract. We cannot subtract 2 out of 5, so we need to borrow 1. The borrow makes 12 here, and 1 12 take away 5 is 7. We cannot subtract 1 out of 2, again we need to borrow 1. 11 take away 2 is 9. We have 4 and 2. That is 2497. The correct option is 2497. Option number 1 is the correct option. Subtract. 9 take away 2 is 7. 9 take away 4 is 5. We need to borrow 1. 15 take away 9 is 6 and 7. That is 7657. So the correct option is 7657. Option number 1 is the correct option. 5 take away 1 is 4. 8 take away 0 is 8. 5 take away 2 is 3 and 1. That is 1384. Option number 2 is the correct option. Eight take away 1 is 7. 9 take away 8 is 1. 8 take away 3 is 5 and 6 take away 1 is 5. That is 5517. Option number 1 is the correct option. So which is the correct option? Option number 1 is the correct option. Very good. That is 3131. So which is the correct option? Option number 1 is the correct option. That is 476. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is subtract numbers up to millions word problems. The Kingwood Public Library used as a grant to purchase 887 books. Now the library has a total of 3207 books. How many books did the library have before the grant? So after the grant, it is 3207, right? And the grant they used is 887. So we need to subtract. 7 take away 7 is 0. We need to borrow 1. 10 take away 8 is 2. We need to borrow 1. 11 take away 8 is 3 and 2. So that is 2320. The correct option is 2320. Let's just start with the test questions. Before the recent housing boom, there were 625 houses in Fulton County. Now there are 8,966 houses. How many houses did developers build during the housing boom? So that is 8,966 minus 625. That is 6 take away 5 is 1. 6 take away 2 is 4. 9 take away 6 is 3 and 8. That is 8,321. The correct option is 8,341. Seaside Hospital treated 5,135 patients last year who were children. Out of a total of 6,449 patients, how many of the hospital patients last year were adults? So they are 6,449 minus 5,135. 9 take away 5 is 4. 4 take away 3 is 1. 4 take away 1 is 3 and 6 take away 5 is 1. That is 1314. Option number 1 is the correct option. Zach had 8,805 invested in the stock market until he lost 4,184 on those investments. How much money does he have in stock market now? So you have to subtract 8,805 minus 4,184. So which is the correct option? 5 take away 4 is 1. You cannot subtract 0 out of 8, you borrow 1. That makes 7. 10 take away 8 is 2. 7 take away 1 is 6 and 8 take away 4 is 4. That is 4,621. Option number 1 is the correct option. That is 4,621. A video game company sold a total of 6,695 white and black game consoles. They sold 2,203 black consoles. How many white consoles did they sell? So, which is the correct option? Very good. The correct option is option number 1, that is 4492. The Kingwood Public Library used a grant to purchase 887 books. Now the library has a total of 3207 books. How many books did the library have before the grant? So, which is the correct option? That is 2320. Option number 2 is the correct option. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is subtract patterns over increasing place values. 8 minus what number is 4? 8 take away 4 is 4. 8 take away 4 is 4. 80 take away 40 is 40. 800 take away 400 is 400. 8000 take away 4000 is 4000. So the correct option is 440, 400 and 4000. Okay, let's just start with the test questions. Complete the pattern. So what number minus 5 is 4? Which is the correct option? That is 9 take away 5 is 4. 90 take away 50 is 40. 90 take away 50 is 40. 900 take away 500 is 400. And 9000 take away 5000 is 4000. Option number 1 is the correct option. 990, 900 and 9000. Okay, option number 1 is the correct option. Complete the pattern. So, which is the correct option? 4 take away 2 is 2. 40 take away 20 is 20. And 400 take away 200 is 200. And 4000 take away 2000 is 2000. So the correct option is option number 2 is the correct option. They are 440, 400 and 4000. So complete the pattern. Which is the correct option? That is 770, 700 and 7000. Option number 1 is the correct option. Complete the pattern. Which is the correct option? That is 550, 500 and 5000. Option number 1 is the correct option. Complete the pattern. Very good. Option number 2 is the correct option. 220, 200 and 2000. Complete the pattern. Which is the correct option? That is option number 2, 440, 400 and 4000s. Option number 1 is the correct option. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. So let me just move. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. So we were working on grade 4 math chapter. We were working on is subtraction. The lessons we have covered today are subtraction, fill in the missing digits, subtract numbers up to millions, subtract numbers up to millions, word problems, subtraction patterns over increasing place values. So please make sure before the next session you can complete all the practice questions next session. So if you need more help with any of the lessons, tutors are available there to help you or the chat box. I'm here to answer all your questions and confusions if you have any. So please write them down in the chat box. Any questions, please write them down in the chat box. I'm here to answer all your questions and confusions if you have any.